It's the 30th of January today. Do you know what that means? Doesn't mean tomorrow's the 31st. It means it's National Escape Day. Apparently, that is a call to escape your daily routine and invest some time in rejuvenating yourself and buying fancy pillows. I added the last bit. But if that's too airy-fairy, you could take it literally and try an escape room instead. Loads of local ones around. Just do a search online. And our reporter, Dan Bater, has had a chat with the owner of two of them. Alex Hart looks after Locked In Cornwall in Camborne and Escape Rooms Cornwall in Penzance.
It's all about kind of immersing yourself in a storyline. So I like to think of it that rather than going to the cinema or a play and watching someone else be a hero of the story, you can immerse yourself and be the hero yourself by playing in that storyline within a certain period of time.
And these things can kind of cover any time in or space or even fantasy world. What are the sort of things that you cover in Locked In Camborne and the escape rooms in Penzance?
Yeah, sure. So in Camborne, just off the A30, currently we have two escape rooms. One is based on Cornish piskies, have stolen the recipe for the perfect pasty. And you're in combat with them with trying to get the perfect pasty, which is all a bit of tongue-in-cheek and a bit of fun. And in March, actually, we are changing over our current game, which is Puzzle Escape. So what we're actually doing is a new magic love story based around a local witch making a pact with a local person to be rich and famous.
Fantastic.
Which don't want to give away too much information, but it doesn't go too well, and you have to kind of help them combat the witch. And in Penzance, we have a combination of loads of kind of fun things. You want to be a baddie and wanted to do an art heist, so you have to break into an art gallery to steal a painting. Or there is a serial killing doctor, which you've actually got to try to escape from, which you're locked in his office and you need to got an hour to escape before he gets back. And the third one we have in Penzance is a kind of spy Cold War bunker scene. So it's a whole range of things in Penzance, but Camborne's based more around the kind of Cornish fables.
These are all very intense sort of scenarios. You've got to have, I guess, a range of skills in the group that you're going with. What sort of things do you look out for in, I guess, the perfect team? Because you can kind of get records with the quickest time for these rooms, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Some people get quite competitive. So we have kind of leaderboards of who managed to escape quickest. But it's more about fun for us, about providing that kind of experience. So skill set is always good to have, like a big team of some people that are good at mathematics, some problem solving skills. But it's all really about having a bit of fun, a bit of teamwork. And doing something in real life rather than being stuck behind a screen all the time.
That's another thing I was going to bring up. It's phones left at the door, isn't it?
Yes. We kind of joke in the sense that you can bring the phones in with you, but it won't help you that much. It's more about kind of putting things together, communicating and testing your wits, really.
We talk about AI quite a bit on the show, and is it going to take over? What sort of things is it going to be able to do? Everyone's just going to be using AI to answer every question, but I don't think it'd be much use in an escape room.
No, I think I have seen actual escape rooms where you're combating AI in a kind of Terminator-esque scene. But no, this is more of a thing that rather than behind a computer screen, you're physically live, you're doing things with your hand, having to crawl through spaces if you're trying to break into things. So it's definitely more of a physical live experience.
A few years ago, everyone was talking about escape rooms and they're still really popular. How is business at the moment?
Yeah, business is going well. Still, a lot of people don't know what escape rooms are. They think it's this dark, dingy, scary place. But it's all about immersing yourself in a storyline, which is obviously a lot of fun. We are quite tourism-based, being in Cornwall specifically. So this is kind of our more slower season, which kind of gives us opportunities to kind of change around our games and make sure the maintenance and things like that.
Also, I was just going to refer to the witch one again, how you've got this new idea. How do you come up with these really creative ideas about escape rooms? Because that seems so otherworldly to me. I wouldn't have ever been able to come up with it.
It's actually a really fun thing. In my previous roles, I've never had the opportunity to be that creative, and it's really great fun of creating this whole new world. I suppose it'd be similar to anyone else who's creating a script for a film or a book or something like that, is just immersing yourself in a specific storyline and creating that detail, specifically for this new Smokehouse Curse, which is the new witch magic love story. I've been watching loads of media about that subject and local folklore and things. But no, it's really great fun of creating something and bringing it to life, which people enjoy, which is it's such a great thing. We actually got an award last year from TripAdvisor for being in the top 10% of worldwide attractions. It's so great to actually get some external feedback that you're doing okay, which is doing well, and it's bringing people into the local community, because escape room, there are a lot of enthusiasts, which they'll physically travel quite far distances just to play these things. So it's nice to help the community by bringing tourists specifically to come in to have fun and play the escape rooms.
So it's one thing having these really creative ideas, but how do you actually build them? Because the ones I've done, the kind of mechanics behind it's really complicated.
Yeah, so it's actually quite a fun thing to do. I do love playing with different technologies and things. Actually, we've been in discussions and got some help with some people from Falmouth University in Penryn from their robotics department. Some of their students, as part of their courses, are playing around with coding and building things. It's actually really nice to have some links into some of the local education to help them with their courses and building some really funky tech.
I can't imagine just having an average bit of coursework being able to design for an escape room.
I think it's a lot of fun. I think for them putting some of their ideas to life, they like seeing and creating things. It's all part of the coursework and helps a local business as well.
Brilliant stuff. I mean, it seems like you've got ideas coming out of your ears, but if you happen to need another one, and he will love that I'm mentioning this to you. A colleague of mine, also called Dan, happened to get locked in Radio Cornwall studio. He was being very silly and forgot the pass that he needed, and he was the only one in the building as well. So he had to call on me to get him out of that building. So if you need inspiration, there's one for you.
Sounds like Dan could do with playing a few escape rooms to see if he can get better of escaping when he needs to.
I've actually played a few with him, and yeah, he could do with improving. So for Dan or anyone else that's interested in going to an escape room, where can people find you?
Yeah, probably the easiest way is just to find us online. Our websites are escaperoomscornwall.com or lockedincornwall.com. Either of those will detail all the current games we've got and the availability.
That's Alex Hart talking to BBC Radio Cornwall's Dan Bater. And I would actually quite like to do one. I think it would be quite good fun. If you've been to an escape room and you can describe the experience for me, give me a shout, 0808 100 1039. I know my daughter's done it a few times with her friends, but she's really into these kind of board games and Dungeons and Dragons and things. So I guess it's just sort of an extension of that. Thank you very much indeed to John, who has suggested